Okay. You got your beers, Jason?
Lock the gates. Yeah.
Welcome to Four Brewers. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I'm joined by
Jason Harris.
And Greg Nagel.
And we've got Beer and Nosh back in the house. Jesse Friedman.
How you doing?
How you doing, man?
What's up?
Good.
Let's drink some beers.
So, Jason, you got some beers for us.
I do. Another free advertisement for Tavour. I got just a bunch of random fucking beers
Tavour.
from around the
Tavour,
country.
if you're listening.
Is it really pronounced Tavour? Or is it Tavour?
It's Tavour.
Like savor rhymes with savor.
Listen,
Fuck,
they
it
can
may be
they can
Tavour.
cut a check if they want it pronounced correctly.
That's right. Send me some
In typical
brand
4B
guidelines.
fashion, we mispronounce things.
This episode sponsored by Tavour Hour.
Tavour.
Tavour.
Tavour. Is it like devour?
Tavour sounds right to me. Like, I don't know.
Tavour though, like savor.
Savor.
Tavour
Tavour.
sounds
No,
weird.
but savor is spelled with O-R and Tavour's O-U-R.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's
how
like
spelled.
Sabre and Sabre on The Office.
Sabre.
Today's going to be a good
So
day.
anyways, you tavored some shit.
And
I
Sabre.
tavored up some beer.
This bit is tabering off.
So yeah, I have a couple rando beers. Trying to get some stuff that's not in our normal markets. So let's start with this guy. It is Zeus Juice from Westbrook Brewing with Angry Chair Brewing. Westbrook is pretty prominent. I've heard of them before. They have a bunch of beers that people like. They tend to do like sweeter stuff, I think.
Yeah, they do the
Sweeter
Mexican
shit.
chocolate cake.
Yeah, that's the one.
Fatheads
I've had that.
has a beer called Zeus Juice also.
Zeus juice.
This
Sounds like
is an ambrosia-inspired sour wheat ale brewed with tangerine, pineapple, cherry, coconut, lactose, and marshmallows.
all right.
Shouldn't it have mayonnaise in it if it's ambrosia salad?
I would say Zeus juice alone sounds pretty gay, like a gay porn title. I mean, give me some of that Zeus juice. Hey, sailor.
What is it, a 1940s fucking swinger?
Let's go back to the Tavour
Let me
jokes,
take my
guys.
knickers off.
Sorry.
Hey there, Sally. Where's some of that
Zeus
Zeus juice?
I grew up in Wisconsin, and people would bring ambrosia salad to.
It's a big deal.
It's a real thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Church potlucks.
Yeah.
Ambrosia. Who's bringing the ambrosia? Like,
Yeah.
Sally's got it.
Everybody.
I had
Like,
this
give me
with a
some of
friend.
that Zeus
and they're like,
juice.
yeah, it's that really gross fruit salad. I'm like, oh yeah. Isn't that with Miracle Whip?
It's usually like mayo
Wait.
and sour cream.
Wait, not
Yeah.
Miracle Whip, Cool Whip.
that
Cool
stuff's
Whip?
gross. Yeah, real mayo.
Cool Whip.
No,
It's
I
got
think
real mayo.
The
Celery?
Cool Whip is the fake whipped cream, not.
Celery chunks. Raisins. Some sort of apples.
You're saying Cool Whip and Miracle Whip, right?
Yeah.
Those are...
Yeah, they're very different products. I
am I
meant
smelling?
Miracle Whip.
Guys, I thought this was a beer
Zeus juice.
podcast.
Wait, no, I meant Cool Whip. Fuck.
What are you doing to it,
It doesn't
Jesse?
even matter.
I'm not doing any of this.
Jesse,
You did all of this.
Jesse, the beer doesn't even matter.
This is,
we're just, it's the reason why we're here, but
I kind of like this beer.
Welcome to Four Brewers, where the reviews are fake and the beer doesn't matter.
And what do we do on this podcast?
we're podcasting. We're just here for the podcast.
Kind of a nice, light cherry pie, fruity aroma. Nice pop on the aroma here.
Yeah, it's got some crust on the nose, I'd
Yeah.
say.
Give you a nice pop on the nose of some Zeus juice.
I don't want it in my nose.
And
No,
it
but
has this, like,
ambrosia, Zeus, get it?
Yeah,
it has like a creamy, fruity flavor. I
does
had
it?
this before, and to me, this tastes like, you know the movie Hook?
Yeah.
You know when
Yeah.
they imagine that whole
Of course,
feast?
finally.
That whole feast of like colored, like just
Goop.
goop?
Yeah.
That's what what I imagine that tastes like is what this tastes like.
Now, you listening at home can't see this, but I have reached across the table and am pulling Jason's face to the side to make him smile and going, there you are, Jason.
He really did lose his marbles, didn't
I would drink this out of a can on the beach in the sun very happily. I think this is bright, refreshing, kind of, just warm weather, beer. I like it.
Yeah, I think that crust note follows through on the flavor too. It's got kind of it's not Cheerios, but kind of that breakfast cereal kind of vibe to it with a lot of fruit on the flavor too. It's very much like cherry pie though.
It manages to be sweet without being overly like cloyingly sweet.
I think it's like fruity,
Yeah.
For
Or like a cherry pie where there's that tart bite that gets through that kind of cuts it where you don't just have sugar lingering on your palate.
the fun part about having Four Brewers is having one guy in the show that doesn't like the beer, and I'm that guy in this one. It's
You don't like this- you don't like this
no,
beer?
it tastes sort
What's
of
wrong with you?
It smells sort of fake, and I get a little ATHP on the finish, like that sort of cereally.
I do get that too, but I think it's good.
Yeah.
If this were something else that wasn't supposed to,
I'm pretty sensitive to it, and I don't think that I get it, but it's real light in there.
Yeah, but it's like I get it really big for I don't know, for whatever reason. This isn't
your jam.
It's not my jam, which is fine. More for you guys. Like,
All right,
more Zeus juice for
welcome to
us.
3
more
Brewers.
Zeus juice on your nose, popping off.
Oh
Damn.
no, Greg's got into the Zeus juice again. You know how he gets.
Sorry to crush the vibe there. Everybody
It's okay.
was gushing over
Yeah.
it.
So they spelled Zeus and juice wrong.
Yeah. I had a hard time finding it until I saw the actual can. It's ZOOSE JOOSE. Isn't that what LA Works calls their juice?
but vowels are
JOOSE?
expensive.
O's are vowels. I was like,
Yeah, I don't
hold
know.
on. There's one thing I know about the English language. O is a vowel.
It says it is an ambrosia-inspired sour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we all started.
All right, cool.
I thought you listened to this
Catching
podcast.
up.
At least while you're on it.
Oh, it's got marshmallows too. That's funky. Okay.
Really coming around.
Sorry.
What the fuck is going on
that
over
was
there?
that was a slight verp. I was like, a little bit came back up. Just does not agree with me.
Wow. Okay.
So Westbrook
next?
was from South Carolina. Southern Carolina. SC.
Sunny
Two
Southern-
Corinthians.
Oh god, so good.
Moron. Not you. You're the guy.
Wow, Zeus juice.
Donald Trump.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Happy to be here.
All
It
right.
says a 4.16 on Untapped, which is
Really?
not bad.
All right.
I like it. I like it for a beer in the style that I don't really drink much. You know, like I said, I think I sort of get the appeal of it, and I think it'd be great on the beach.
All right.
I'm gonna take my pants off right now. And,
Pants off, dance
Yeah.
off. But once you obviously that's kettle soured.
yeah,
But Jesse Freeman liking a kettle sour beer is there been some sort of sea change in your life?
there. I mean, yes, but you know, it's funny. I came out so strong against kettle sours that people would like bring up kettle sour with me to like expect some sort of like triggered reaction to it. Like it was, or people on like Twitter would talk to me about it, like bring me into conversations just to like try
Just
and get
get your hot take.
yeah. And the truth is, I actually
Great,
think
you have
compared to
water.
like 5 or 6 years ago, I think a lot of the issues with kettle sours have been worked out. A lot of breweries are managing to brew them with a much better efficiency and a much better process and a way less. What's the acid that's formed?
Butyric.
Butyric. Yeah, the butyric acid sort of like scourge seems to have been taken care of a little bit.
Okay.
They're
And
like, let's
then-
hire some people that can smell this because clearly.
Yeah, well, it's
That
also I think
barfiness. It's been a while since
most
I've
brewers
had
have
a barfini.
moved the souring process out of the kettle and into a fermenter, which is where you should do your fermentations, which is what this is. And so that just allows. So a lot of it's been, you know, there. It's still not the same as barrel aged
Barrel ferment,
sour,
for sure.
slow fermented sour. You're not going to get that kind of depth of character. But I think it's just another, you know, arrow in the quiver of tools that breweries have available to them, and it's not bad.
It's been a while since I've had a barfy kettle sour, which is good.
Been a while.
It's been a while since I've had barfy.
So this next beer is
It's from Urban Artifact Brewing in Cincinnati, Ohio.
wow.
It is called Squeeze Box. It is a strawberry beer with 3 pounds per gallon of fresh strawberries.
That's a fuck ton of strawberries.
You get the strawberry.
Yeah.
It's
like
not a
Nestle's
sour?
Quick.
What's the base?
Nestle's Quick.
It does say it has a medium level of lactic acidity.
Yeah, but that's
I don't get a lot of acidity on it, but I definitely get a lot of strawberries, and it's almost
This
like
is-
a wit. It's super.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
like
it's
an
white.
old-timey 90s strawberry fruit ale.
this smells like shit.
Really?
Like I smell shit on this beer. This smells
Shit?
like poop.
Really
Yeah,
I don't get that at all.
poopy, diapery.
Oh man,
Are you sure it's not you?
Welcome to 2 Brewers.
it's not me.
We're dropping like Tavour.
John is shouting.
Oh, it's like strawberry poop.
No, I think
you guys don't get a poop edge.
No, I think it's actually got a pretty. The strawberry aroma is kind of my favorite thing. It smells like a freeze dried strawberry.
Yeah.
Like strawberry cereal.
Yeah, exactly.
We got like a breakfast cereal
like
thing.
The special K with the strawberries in it.
Yeah.
But for me, I get sort of like a Nestle's Quick sort of strawberry note to it.
Yeah.
Not super. It's the good part. It's the fruity part of the strawberry, not like the green part.
It tastes better than it smells to me. It still smells.
John
like
is
poop.
looking at his glass and making the worst face.
It's got 3 pounds of strawberries per gallon. Holy shit!
Shit,
strawberries.
I like that you pronounce the T in shit like shit.
Shut up.
Shit.
A lot of straws.
There's everybody listening right now is going shit. How do you? I have to take a shit. I took the biggest shit yesterday. I don't know. Sorry, John.
Oh, go. Keep going.
This beer is I don't know.
I just
for a
can't.
strawberry beer, it's if I was like,
Does it taste like 8.5% alcohol?
no.
Yeah.
Is
I
it really?
thought it was like 4%.
Yeah, it's 8.5.
Oh my god! I chugged that first thing because I had water in my glass, thinking it was like a 4%er, but nope.
It is very sweet. I do think a lot of strawberry flavored stuff either ends up tasting like those fucking strawberry candies your grandmother had, or like really kind of medicinal and gross. And this avoided both of those.
Strawberry's
which
really
I
hard to
enjoy.
pull off in a beer.
To me, this
Yeah.
Strawberry and Brett can be real tough together. You get a lot of Band-Aid flavor coming out.
Yeah. Strawberry in general, right? I really see a lot of beers trying to pull strawberry, and it ends up either tasting like Jolly Ranchers or...
I think the milkshake IPA with strawberry is kind of like the strongest one we've ever had on the show. I don't remember who made it, but I think it was I think it was Hamilton or something.
It
But,
was.
we're like, fuck, this is actually
Yeah.
really good. It just tastes like a strawberry milkshake.
To me, this tastes like
IPA.
those strawberry ice cream bars you get off like the ice cream truck that have like a softer kind of, I don't know, it's not breading, but it's like some kind of
Like
thing.
a graham cracker kind of crusty thing
It's
on
crusty,
it.
yeah. I don't know what it is, but it kind of
Crumbly bits.
yeah. It comes off like that on the flavor for me.
I wonder if you could
I
like
think that's a good description. I'm just nicer. I think that's right. I just like it a little more.
Or kind of the those strawberry ice cream cups that had the stripes, like the stripes of strawberry flavor.
Nestle's Quick.
I haven't had strawberry quick in.
I wonder if you could
30
make
years.
a home. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm choking here.
I got a strawberry seed.
Little strawberry. Little cat hairball there. Apologize, but I wonder if you can make a strawberry beer with fruit roll-ups. Like if you were to take some already processed sort of, and then just macerate it with vodka or something, and then just dump that in your keg.
I feel like it'd be super gross.
All right, well, I'm gonna try that.
Okay, I wish you would.
Okay, I'm gonna make a whipped beer with strawberry, and I'm gonna use that method
Call it She-Wolf.
Why would you want to do that?
to make a strawberry beer.
Low carb.
But it just seems easier to just use
a low
strawberries.
carb strawberry beer.
All right, beer
I don't
name: Fooder by the Foot.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah. That's
a good
actually
one.
pretty good.
I'm getting
Fruit
used to the
Dooders.
aroma. It doesn't
Who-
smell like shit anymore.
Who are the ad campaign wizards behind that one?
Yeah, it's really opening up, sort of like a wine. Like it, you just let it sit there for a little bit, and sort of like the fruit kind of pops out a little more.
Yeah. Oh, it was just weird. It smelled like poop. Maybe because we were talking about butyric acid and it was on the brain. I don't know,
It
but
was very poop on the brain.
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't get any poop at all.
John trusted the wrong fart, I think.
Sometimes you get the poop.
He trusted a fart, and
Sometimes you get the fart.
God, this beer got all over my pants.
I will say that dump bucket's going to be interesting to
Oh,
drink
dude.
if anyone wants to drink it because
Oh, man.
there's mango, guava beer,
As
strawberry,
a guest on our show,
quad.
Jesse's entitled to drink the dumper.
We didn't tell him that.
A teaspoon.
I
That's
should
all
drink
we
the
ask.
whole thing, or
Chug it.
We've done some pretty good dump buckets in the past, but I don't know. When it's all IPA or something like that, it's like a nice cohesive drink.
well, my homebrew club would do what we called a Frankengoose, which is you just take all the bottles at the end of the night and blend them together. Make sure there's at least a couple sour dregs in there, and then cap it off and put it away for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that turn out?
Not
Usually?
great,
No?
usually, you know. I mean, almost always there was some sort of stout or something in there because you give a little sugar.
Right.
And that would sort of turn the whole thing into a dark sour. But I guess the good news is a beer made out of dregs was usually just as good as most commercial dark sours. So it's got that going for it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of dark sours.
Yeah.
Matt Becker, I think, likes dark sours a lot.
Dark sours. You know what? There's that one
Or the
Jolly
Reese,
Pumpkin made that was good.
That's true, yeah.
Madriga,
I think when you-
Madriga Obscura or some shit like that.
When you set out to make a dark sour instead of accidentally coming upon it. Like,
yeah, a
it's
lot
two
of
different
dark
things.
sours were like, yeah, you know that Imperial Stout we were talking about? Well, that one's
It's
going to be a
sour.
few more months. But anyways, we got this great dark sour on deck for you guys.
I should say Tart of Darkness is pretty damn good, too. Like, that's a classic, at least for me, because it's
dark in small letters and sour in the biggest font you have. Tart of Darkness. So tart.
So
Good-
tart,
good
so
beer.
darkness.
it's one of my favorite Tyler beers.
So we're going into Toppling Goliath Brewing Company. They are Iowa-based, although I think they...
It doesn't say if it was brewed in Florida. That's what I was just checking too.
it says Iowa on it, which I generally wouldn't assume it means.
You don't really know. Still, it could actually still be the original location.
I feel like they have to have it printed there. Like Sierra cheats it by just putting all of their locations on all their cans.
It's probably
You can. There's
guess
some
you would know
weird.
more
There's
than
some
me.
weird loopholes where you don't necessarily have to put.
Where
if
it
you
was
have
brewed?
multiple locations
Brewed
that you brew
in
at,
whatever.
you can put like the master location sometimes. So,
I mean,
don't know.
Red Stripe says it's made in Jamaica or something like that, but you know the one that you're buying in the supermarket's not made in Jamaica.
I thought
It's-
it actually was, though. Like, I
Red
thought
Stripe? Oh.
that's one of the it's actually brewed where it says it's brewed.
You never know.
That's
That
what
was
I
my...
heard.
Because that's how you can always figure out who makes store-brand beers. They're like, oh, San Jose. Got it. Yeah, I know who makes
yeah.
it. Like, oh, it's that one brewery in
Oh, yeah.
freaking in like Michigan or something that brews freaking everybody's shit, or Wisconsin.
Oh, in
Like
Monroe,
Minhas or
Monroe,
something?
Wisconsin.
La
Yeah,
Crosse.
they do all the Trader Joe's stuff. Firestone Walker at one point did IPA for Trader Joe's. Those Mission
Yeah, the
Street
Mission
six
Street
packs.
stuff.
Those were best beer and
They used
best
to do
deal in
the
beer.
they used to do the house beer for Yard House too.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty nice.
I just went to Yard House yesterday.
It's all right.
How are your
right?
dirt
How is
tap
it?
lines?
I had a Chapman Crafted Pills. It was delicious.
The shitty thing is if you get a beer that doesn't turn over quickly, their tap lines are like a mile and a half long, so your
Yeah, I think
entire pour is going to be like 60-degree beer that was sitting up in the
the
fucking
lines. I think they hold like at least a gallon and a half of beer, like along the stretch from the bar to. So like the
nuts.
keg could like be gone, and there could be still like beer sitting in the line.
You're drinking beer from 2 kegs ago.
Yeah.
That's just caught in the system.
It's like a rat that's like gnawing on the.
What's the name of this beer, Jason?
This beer is called Pompeii. It is a mosaic hopped beer. There's a very mosaic theme on all the
Little
label
lactose?
and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mango body odor.
Ooh,
It is kind of the dankier mosaic. It's also a little older. The beer's from December.
it's now March.
It's
Late,
not
late March.
So about 3 months old. It's not old, but it's not the freshest beer in the world.
It's a lot more bitter than I thought it was going to be.
These
I
guys
was
are known
expecting-
for Pseudo Sue and King Sue,
Mhm.
those Citra beers that were kind of big hype standouts for a long time before they hit distro.
I was kind of expecting more of like a milkshakey, sort of soft, pillowy, lactose forward, hazy IPA, but it's got a lot of bitterness. Right.
I mean, this is the challenge with a lot of hazy IPA. Hazy IPA is a beer style that is all about freshness and ideally should be consumed, directly connected to a fermenter, at the brewery. And so whenever you're packaging a hazy IPA, you're kind of fighting natural science. I feel like in a lot of ways.
I've had some like I forget who it was, but we had one after like 5 months or something, and it was like still pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean there's examples out there,
outliers.
Monkish.
but it's one of those things where you go to a beer store and you just see all those 4-packs sitting on the shelf with 5-6 pounds per barrel of hops in there. A lot of very expensive hops wilting on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I'm always kind of interested in seeing what the bigger breweries do with their interpretation of hazy IPA, Because the first one I think I saw on shelves was Sierra Nevada's hazy little,
hazy thing.
yeah, whatever it is.
It's a nice beer.
And it was good, but there's always a caveat. It's like, well, it's not actually what you're expecting to get from like Monkish. It's going to be a different interpretation because they're huge and they can't put 6 pounds per barrel of hops in these beers and sell them mass market like that. So,
Not with that attitude.
I mean, and Firestone Walker basically brewing I think the Hefeweizen.
Haze.
Yeah, and
Weizenbach.
It's a good
hops.
beer, and it's fine. It's just not, I think this is the first time I've actually had a beer from a bigger brewery that's out for mass distribution that's even close to what a hazy IPA should be.
It's
To be
got
honest,
that
to
doughy
me,
nose down.
this really, to me, fits more in the category of like just an unfiltered, more West Coast style IPA. I don't really get the flavor characteristics. And they don't advertise it as hazy IPA either. I think they just put
but
IPA.
the
on
nose,
there.
I definitely get that hazy IPA, sort of like cake batter, sort of like I'm trying to nail like pineapple upside down cake sort of thing on the nose.
Yeah,
but
that's just mosaic though, right?
Yeah,
With the
that's
right
true.
mosaic, you
But
get
it's
that
very
kind of
soft.
candy nose, that candy flavor out of it.
but
Mosaic is, if
I
it's
get the
not the
doughiness.
biggest, it's a really good yielder. And so I don't know if Mosaic is the most grown hop in the United States yet, but it's certainly on its way there.
I would imagine maybe Citra is more.
Citra Cascade might still be more
Yeah,
too, but
yeah.
it's sort of, but I believe Mosaic is like a bigger yielder in a lot of ways than those hops are.
That would make
like
sense
you get
why
a ton
they
out of it.
pushed it so much.
it's gotten pushed, but the result is I feel like beer is one of those things where as your hops come in every year, you have to change your beer recipe to keep you have to change your recipe to keep the output the same because the inputs change, because the malt changes subtly,
Right.
the hops change subtly. But I feel like a couple of years ago, Mosaic was so mangoey and kind of oftentimes like a little blueberry, and it's really drifted
Same
away
with
from
Citra.
there. Citra too, yeah. Citra used to just smell like Sprite,
Yeah.
and we can get a little peach in there. But these days, this is pretty mangoey. But a lot of Mosaic is more sort of general fruit baskety kind of character.
Yeah. I would say they have to Matuika their recipes all the time.
Yeah.
But if I had a liquor store that sold like just a bunch of hazy IPAs, I would invest in one of those like misting systems that they use in the grocery produce
Like the
section.
thunder and lightning sound.
And like, oh my God, I would buy more hazy IPAs because they have
'Cause
that
they're
impression of being shit, like fresh and wet,
Just
and they're perishable. How rad would that be? Just like,
That's very weird.
welcome to Nagel's Wet Beers, only the wettest beer in Orange County.
Nagel's Wet Bar.
You want your beer damp? Come to Nagel's Wet Beers. City's like, surely this is illegal. There's nothing in the health code that says you can't serve wet beers.
Some sort of slip and slide. Do you want to hear my unifying theory of IPA? Which is
Yeah.
with the styles, especially when you've got a style that's for a lot of ways IPA is craft beer, right? I mean, it's taken over such a huge percentage, good or
Absolutely.
bad, and as new styles and trends come up, I think I think brewing trendy beers is fun and should be encouraged, right? I think for a lot of breweries, getting on a trend, it's fun because you become part of like a conversation and a dialogue. I don't think you should reorient your entire brewery, for every new trend that comes along. But yeah, do the one-offs, throw them out there. Do the the pilot batch, but do your brewery's take on this style. I think that's fun to be a part of that discourse and that that conversation. And then as different beer styles come up, kind of rise and fall, they all sort of go to, one path or the other. There's the path of the double IPA. I think it's the canonical example where it changes the industry so radically that we can't remember what it was like before. And then the other path is the black IPA path where we're all ashamed and don't talk about it anymore.
I still like black IPA.
yeah, it was just at BJ's as well. It was a crazy weekend with like people from out of town, and they wanted to go to BJ's and they wanted to go to Yard House, so that's where we went. I'm not
Sure.
going to complain. And BJ's had a black IPA. I was like, I'll drink that, and it was pretty good.
When I was in Portland, I was at an old school beer bar, and I drank a Cascadian dark ale with CBD. I was like, this is peak
Dude.
Oregon right now. Just so Oregon.
Wow, did you grow a flannel?
My beard grew 3 sizes that day.
So I think it's safe to call that hazy IPA has gone the double IPA route where it sort of infects everything, right? It changes the whole character, and then the next trend will come along and change it too. And so I think the idea of what is a hazy IPA, what's not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know,
What's funny is if you think about some of these breweries, if you've been following kind of the hype scene and what was big, something that made me think of that was on fucking Tavour. Pelicans. Tavour. I was up on the Tavour the other day, and what I see but Pelican's mother of all storms. But so that beer, right?
I ordered one of those.
There was, yeah, but think about like in 2010, if somebody showed up with Pelican mother of all storms, everyone at the bottle share is like, oh shit.
Everyone pass out.
And
Everyone die. Oh
you
my
know,
God.
And then it just kind of passed it by. Think like Hair of the Dog. You know, it used to be kind of a big respected get, and now generationally it's just kind of like Jackie O's is
They
another
didn't
example.
keep up with the times though. Like, oh man, when I went to Portland and stumbled into Hair of the Dog, it was like, what is this?
But
What happened?
I think being the hype brewery of the day, you can just as soon be a yesterday's news in fucking a year or two, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
true.
weird place to be, because if you think of a lot of the hype breweries of the past, there's not a lot of Russian Rivers. There's a lot more breweries that were like, oh, they were up here, and then now nobody thinks about them anymore.
Yeah, that's true. You know, a lot of people have closets full of Black Tuesday for a reason.
And I mean, the hype crowd
nobody's
is
buying
by their
anymore.
fucking nature fickle.
I'm one of those guys.
Yeah. Just by being around for a while, it's like, well, that's old news. What have they done lately? Well, they tried 100 different things. Yeah, but what else?
but there, you know, I mean, a lot of it comes back to who they are as a brewery, kind of deep down inside, right? So I think Firestone Walker is a great example where they can balance nicely chasing trends with being unmistakably Firestone Walker.
Sure.
And then, you know, you get, as a brewery, when you have a hit product, what do you do with that opportunity? You know, look at, I mean, 805 is huge
Dude,
proportion.
my
of
mom likes 805.
I do not care for that beer. But Firestone Walker managed its growth in like a really great way and used it to help build up the whole brewery with a focus not just on how do we make more beer as quickly as possible, how do we always raise the bar on quality. You know, we're talking about Russian River too, same thing. You know, most breweries will get crushed under that sort of popularity. Like Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, a lot of the places he visits go out of business because they get crushed by the popularity. And
They
can't
do the
handle it.
T-shirt thing, and they it's like a tourist trap now. And
Well,
then, like,
so like, have you guys been to, you know, Beer Belly in Koreatown in Los
Yeah.
Angeles? So they were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Great beer bar.
Yeah.
Great
yeah,
beer
Beer
bar.
Belly's cool.
They were on there for their like duck French dip, and before, which is a French dip sandwich made with duck. It's amazing. And I think they did maybe 10, 15 of them a night. And then after they were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, that number went up to like 100 every day.
Jesus.
And so that kind of shift where it completely changes your entire business overnight, how do you deal with that success in a way that you don't burn out, or you invest that time and money in a way that sort of leaves that lasting impression? You know, how do you ride that wave and not get drowned on
Yeah,
it?
get some sort of like side kitchen or a food truck or something that can handle the additional, like just making that one food item and then focus your rest of your kitchen on sort of your regular menu.
They
I
should
don't
just
know.
hire you. I don't know why everyone else hasn't figured this out.
I don't know. It's very, just scale your business.
Just
Don't-
scale your business. That's
yeah,
not hard.
Just scale it.
Hey, have you
just get a
tried
food truck.
just making more if people want to buy more? I mean, that's pretty no-brainer.
Yeah, you'd think
Thanks,
so.
Guy Fieri.
Business.
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah.
Let's put some donkey sauce on it.
You tried doing business there, buddy? A little bit of business, maybe?
I'm no businessman.
I'm just a simple caveman, but don't know much about business. But I
Yeah.
do know this. You should make more so you can sell more.
Oh man.
So
But
overall thoughts on this beer?
it was too bitter, man.
Yeah, same. I agree. It was
very
kind of
bitter.
difficult to drink because it was a little too like fruity and too bitter.
It's like if Stone did a hazy IPA. That's sort of what I would envision.
Yeah, I don't think it was a hazy IPA at all, but I thought it was a pretty good IPA. I would prefer the sweeter side of Mosaic. It tended to be a little bit of the dankier side,
A little
but
danky.
Good beer.
Danky Shern.
All right,
For bringing
so where do we go? We went to Ohio. We went to Iowa. We
Thinking
went,
of Wayne's World right now.
we went to Delaware.
Quad Cities.
The Southern Carolina.
The Southern Carolina.
the Southern Carolina.
2 Corinthians.
And now we are going to Bargersville, Indiana.
I've never heard of
Indiana.
that place.
Taxman Brewing Company.
I was just out in Indiana. My dad lives out there.
This is a coffee vanilla quad featuring Tinker Coffee Company. And it's got a little skeleton gentleman with a top hat on it.
I wonder if that's by Shipshawana.
This is qualified, right?
It is the coffee vanilla qualified. Yeah.
Quaffified.
Qualified.
Quaffazilla.
Taxman Brewing Company. That's a name.
Bet they're
Yeah.
Beatles fans, probably.
Tax man. I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, that is a dead air.
Oh, wow. That has some coffee on it.
Yeah, what do you think about the coffee character? Do you think it's more the green bell pepper spicy side of things, or
No, I don't get the green bell pepper. I think it's
it's very bright
yes, it's
for
bright.
coffee? It's
Yeah.
a bright coffee in there.
I get a little bit of like a it's a little spicy on the nose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A little spicy bell peppery.
No, I
don't get
I
any
didn't
of
mean
that.
bell pepper.
I don't get any of that green, though.
Yes,
That green
I didn't
character.
mean like the bell pepper. I meant
It's
like
a little acrid is how I describe it. Like the coffee oils. It's not bad. I get a little bell pepper on there.
Yeah, it does smell spicy, and it smells very bright. And for a coffee beer to smell bright, that's sort of like a good on you. That's a hard thing to achieve.
Mhm.
And the flavor's really nice.
9.5%.
Dang, dude,
Yeah, it hides the heat nicely.
for sure. I was gonna say it's probably around 7.
This is a very nicely put together beer.
Mhm.
Like they've got a lot in there. It's but it sort of holds together nicely. Very, very coffee forward.
I think it manages to be a bit sweet and desserty without being overbearing. It doesn't make you feel like you just had a bite of frosting, like some of the big sweet stouts will do, which maybe is just by nature of it being a quad with that treatment versus being in the imperial stout side.
Yeah, the yeast ester kind of blends the fruity character blends very nicely with the malt as well to sort of unify. I don't like when you get like a real big banana bread kind of note where the fermentation gets a little out of control.
I wouldn't have thought to put coffee and vanilla in a quad. It just doesn't sound like it would work. You know what I mean? Because I mean, when I think of quad, I think of like a big Belgian
Raisins and dates.
Yeah, kind of on the fruity Belgian side of things, and to me, that just doesn't in my head work with coffee and vanilla.
Coffee and Belgian beers really, I don't think has been a thing.
No, and for them to try that, and it actually turned out pretty good.
Do you guys
Like,
get almost a hazelnutty character out of
Oh,
it?
for sure.
Yeah.
A little Frangelico.
Yeah.
Nice beer.
I was trying to pick that out on the aroma and hazelnut. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the beer worked out really well. Spoiler alert, I pre-tried these, so I picked the ones that I thought would be fun to talk about.
This one's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Taxman, though.
Yeah. Well,
That's a weird name.
I hate
So they
the
use-
tax
they
man
use-
always coming trying to take a walk. He'll tax me feet.
It's like one of those, there's like a strip club called The Library, and it's like, honey, I'm going to the library. And like, honey, I'm going to go to the Taxman.
It's November.
what's the name of that place is it Anaheim or the Pump Room?
I have no idea.
There's a place called the Pump Room. My buddy
Pump
Dave,
Room?
the guy I told you about earlier, he would go hang out there all the
Oh,
time.
wow.
I'm like, that is such a
I
weird
just imagine
name.
if you open it, they're playing CNC Music Factory. There's like showers of sparks coming from the ceiling. Welcome to the pump room.
The Pump Room.
It's just a '90s caricature.
So what made you buy this beer? I'm just curious. Like, because if I saw this, I wouldn't have. Like, just curiosity, or because you bought a lot of beer on your first like Tavour.
Yeah, I bought 11 beers.
Oh,
How much was
So,
that?
I don't know.
they don't give you a total. You just
Oh, shit.
buy like
You buy
one beer
each
at a
beer
time.
individually,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then they ship it whenever you designate to ship
Gotcha.
it.
So you don't
So
realize you're spending
yeah,
a lot of money.
You don't get the total.
They nickel and dime.
You get the total of each one, yeah.
Damn it,
Generally,
Tavour.
in general, everything I bought was like less than $10.
Oh, okay.
So it was like less than $10 for two.
That's not bad.
And so
I mean,
yeah.
I could walk out of like Total Wine and More like with a card of like $250
yeah.
with bottles of wine, booze, and beers and stuff. Like, pretty easy.
I think the vanilla on the flavor is a little comes off a little like artificial, like I don't know, like a little it's like slick, kind of, I don't know, vanilla is not, it doesn't make
It's
beer
kinda oily.
slick, but maybe it's the coffee working with the, I don't know. It seems weird, the vanilla. It just, I don't know. It's what's turning me off. Like, I couldn't drink.
I mean, it's like a stout with the quad swapped in, essentially. Like the set, is sort of like...
I think it does get a little thin, which I imagine starting with a
actually like the
quad
thinness of
versus... I don't mind it, but I think it may be a little on the thinner side. I mean, that's got to be tricky with a quad into a barrel. I mean, quads are already not as thick as a stout would be.
No, absolutely not.
And so...
Like, I think the coffee is adding a bitter edge to it that I don't like too. Like, it's after I take a sip and it kind of, I swallow it, I don't feel like it tastes good, but it's just like, like I'm fighting it. I don't know. It's not working.
They get points for degrees of difficulty, but not necessarily for, like, they put together things that are challenging, and they did a very nice job.
Yeah.
But they're not like natural fits together.
Should they have done it? I don't know.
Science never asked if they should.
I mean, when people are drinking coffee in the morning, you'll see, like, at my work, we have those squirt things of various things, and like I'm never going to touch them, but there's a hazelnut, there's a vanilla, and some people are like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And
do you work at a Starbucks?
Oh God, no. Western Digital. But yeah,
Born
the
and
coffee
raised.
machine is like, oh my God, dude, why are you mixing hazelnut and vanilla and like St. Patrick's Day
I get it.
stuff? Like,
But, yeah.
dude,
You mean mint?
minty. Like,
Like St. Patrick's Day stuff.
well, there's
What
one
flavor is St. Patrick's Day? It's either
It's like,
puke
it's
or
like
mint.
Bailey's pukey mint character. I don't know what it
Puke
is.
or mint.
Those are your only two
Leprechaun,
choices.
leprechaun jizz.
Mint. Yeah. That's what Shamrock Shakes taste like,
Shamrock
right?
Shake,
So,
yeah.
that's the green flavor now.
Okay,
I applaud their effort with this beer, but
That's pretty good.
It's all right. I wouldn't buy it again though.
I think it's pretty good, and I don't normally love this style, but I think it's all right.
It was interesting to try. I'm glad to say I tried a quad with coffee and vanilla, and I don't think I'd want to try one
As
again.
it
I already
and
paid
opens
for
up,
it with my own money, so I mean,
the booze kind of comes out after it's been sitting there a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little boozier,
little
not
bougie.
bougie. It's a little
Right. The
bougie.
challenge is, would it be better without all the additions?
They actually, it's a variant of their regular beer. I would have liked to try it side by side with the original and see how it compared.
Yeah,
sure.
the base quad has like a 3.95 on Untapped, so it seems like it's pretty decent, at least according to them.
At least according to them.
The folks who reviewed this beer for Untapped.
Anyhow, speaking of reviewing, you can review Four Brewers online and give us 5 stars.
So is that the last beer, Jason?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Cool. Well, that was a nice
That was fun.
variety, I think. Aside from the poopy strawberry.
I don't know what happened over there. I think your dog might have farted when you...
I swear, dude, it smelled like I opened a dirty diaper. Like it was bad.
Yeah,
it
I
was
didn't
poop.
get that.
Well, you got the last pour of it too. Maybe there was like some residual funk on the bottom.
The bottom
Yeah.
of the cans where they keep the poop.
The poop side.
Yeah, all the poop sinks out in the cold when you cold
You have
crash
to
it.
you have to store that beer upside down to evenly distribute it.
Just evenly distribute the poop
as long as your
sack.
poop flocculates, it's all good.
Your poop flock.
That's so dirty. Ugh. All right. Well, thanks, Jason. Those were interesting beers.
If you want to find poop flocks online, you can
Poopflock.com.
Snag that URL. So thanks again for hanging out with us, Jesse. That was I'm gonna do that again. So thanks again for hanging out with us, Jesse. That was a fun ride through our Tavour crate with Jason.
Woo, I'm crating it.
And if you want to find us online, you can find us at fourbrewers.com. You got our links to everything there. Go to youtube.com/fourbrewers show. I think that's our URL, or fourbrewers.com/YouTube to see our videos on YouTube. Right now, it's just me doing videos because Matt's not here. And we had one more cheap beer corner video go up like 3 weeks ago that I had sitting in the vault.
The lost episodes.
And it was actually a pretty funny episode. And I don't know why I never released it. I just forgot about it. But
Yeah, it happens.
we're hoping to find a replacement for Matt to drink cheap beer with Jason. So hopefully that'll come back.
Are
soon.
you a bad enough dude to drink cheap beer in a garage?
In a corner.
Hit me up.
That's a really fun show to record too, because it's like you guys we just literally hang out for 2 hours and drink cheap beer and laugh.
There's
Like
that
it's
mouse
so fun.
that one time.
There was a mouse, huh?
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah. But if you want to leave a review for the show on iTunes, you can do that. It helps us in the rankings in iTunes. And if you want to send us any feedback, you can do that by sending an email to feedback@fourbrewers.com and brew the shit out of it. Okay.
There was that mouse.
Hot
but that
ears.
mouse was controlled.
Do you have any tissues?